What's up guys, Alireza here and welcome back to another video. In this one I'm gonna try remaking an Archviz scene in Unreal with my old PC with a 1060 graphics card and 16GB of RAM. And this is basically the minimum hardware you can have to run Unreal with Lumen. This is an old project I did for a Persian carpet company and I rendered it in Cinema 4D and Corona, and this was my final result. Now I want to remake it in Unreal using Lumen without ray tracing and see what I can come up with. So let's dive right in and see how it turns out. This is a carpet ad, so we wanted to put the focus on the carpet and all the other assets in the scene are just here to complement the hero asset. I bumped up the contrast between the carpet and all the other assets so it catches the eye and does not get lost in the picture. Alright, now let's try making the same image in Unreal and see how it looks with Lumen. First I imported the project into Unreal and then started making the materials. I used the same textures I had in Corona, but for some of the assets that are not in focus, I just used Quixel and also some pre-made materials. All I did here was just choosing a material from Quixel and then adjusting it based on my reference. I just tweaked the color, the roughness and the tiling of the materials and I was able to achieve the result I wanted. For the important assets in the scene like the floor, the walls or the chairs wood, I just imported the textures and then using a master material I was able to make the materials as I wanted. All I needed to do was just assign the textures and start messing with the roughness and the tiling to get the materials I was looking for. In the process of making the displacement for the floor and also making the normals, some weird things happened, but it was just some trial and error and it wasn't anything serious. I was just messing around to see what I can achieve playing with some displacement in Unreal. All you need here is basically assigning the textures and then assigning a normal map to the material and you will be fine. For the carpet itself, I used a little trick. Its own normal map was not looking good enough for some reason, so I downloaded the carpet from Quixel and then used its normal map instead, and the result was much better. After that, I started messing around with the normal power, roughness and specular in my material, and after a little bit of tweaking, I was happy with the carpet. This is how the scene looked after I finished setting up the materials. A thing you have to keep in mind is that materials and lighting go hand in hand, and based on your lighting, the look of the materials will change and you may need to go back and adjust them again. Here I am finishing the shading and now I am ready to go to the lighting stage. The lighting of this scene is pretty simple. First I added an HDRI backdrop to have a beautiful background image behind my windows, and then I just started playing with its rotation and placement to get its best possible angle for my windows. After the HDRI backdrop is set, all we need is just playing with the directional light and also the skylight to achieve a decent lighting for our scene. By holding Ctrl and L and then moving your mouse, you are able to change the angle of your directional light and by trial and error, find the best angle for your scene. Also keep in mind that you can add some artificial lighting to the scene and compensate for the lack of good light in different places of your interior. This is CGI and we are not limited to natural light and we are able to somehow cheat in the lighting. But be careful not to overdo it and keep everything subtle. Otherwise it won't look great and the audience can sense something is wrong, although they cannot tell exactly what it is. Other than the daylight, I tried some different lighting scenarios, including an evening look and also a night scene with the lights on. It's pretty easy to change your lighting scenario and try different moods for your scene. All you need is to change the HDRI backdrop to an evening or night image and then reduce the height for your directional light. The rectangle lights behind the windows and behind the camera also have an important role in the overall feeling of the image, and by changing their intensity and their color, you can achieve very good results. A trick worth knowing here is that you can duplicate all the light actors and put them in different folders. So when you change the settings for the lights, you don't lose your first lighting setup. Managing your lights can get a little tricky when you want to have different lighting scenarios, so you can also copy the map as well and use different levels for each lighting scenario. These are the results I got for my evening and night lighting. They don't look bad at all, but there is room for improvement and they can look much better when you dedicate enough time to the image. Also keep in mind that these are raw renders and there is no post-processing and color correction in Photoshop. The quality of the renders here are more than enough to be imported into Photoshop and turned into a high quality Archviz render. For this project, the best lighting scenario in my opinion is the simple daylight. So let's go back to our daylight scenario and finish the job. After you're happy with the intensity and the placement of your lights, you can play with the post-process volume as well, and you can make your image more interesting. You can play with the contrast, the exposure, and also add some vignette and bloom to your image and basically do the post-production here in Unreal without the need to import the image to another software like Photoshop. This is the final result I got after I finished working on my lighting. This is how it looks in my viewport, and I really like what I got. Here I have a high-res screenshot from the viewport, and it's a clean and completely usable render with real-time lighting using Lumen and only a 1060 GTX graphics card. It turned out a little different from the original render, but the difference is not that significant, and by just tweaking the materials and the lighting, you're able to completely match it with the reference. As you probably have noticed, the color of the floor material and also the carpet are much darker than the reference, but it's completely adjustable, and by tweaking the materials in Unreal, you can match them with the first render. This was an ad for the carpet, so we wanted it to pop out in the image, but this one is just an Archviz render, and I think the darker color looks better and more natural. Yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. This was a cool project to do, and if you want to try it out, just leave a comment below and I'll email you the link to download the project and experiment with it yourself. Thank you guys for watching, and if you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.